Okay. Hate when it does that. Hey, you guys, my name is Donovan Sadiq. I am the recovering Democrat. I want to kind of share with you guys. Don't you guys hate when they put all this BS on top of your thing and you're trying to do a story or whatever? But that's what you get, and that's what we pay for. So I really shouldn't complain, but I am. All right, the ex-Michigan governor of Michigan. Let me share this real quick, you guys. If you guys hold on here. Um, 1 second. Here we go. I want to put this on a tweet real quick. There we go. I'll do the rest later. He has been charged with neglect of duty related to the Flint water crisis. You guys, my name is Donovan Sadiq. Again, I am the recovering Democrat, but I'm also known as the Inland Empire Informer. And the Inland Empire Informer is here in Southern California. And sorry about that. People call you, when they see that you're on air. And that's like in Riverside, San Bernardino. It's in the Inland Empire of Southern California. And I drop dime on local politicians here. And I also try to inform as many people of what is going on in regards to my community and what's happening. Now, we're also a part of the Black media. So what's the Black media? The Black media is covering stories that the other networks, the established networks, will not cover. So I was browsing through CNN as I'm reading the Donald Trump impeachment stuff. And sure enough, here's a small little story that they don't really highlight. You didn't hear it on the news at all today. It's breaking news. It was published at 8:54 tonight. Former Michigan Governor Rick Snyder and former Flint Public Works Director Howard Croft were each charged with 2 counts of willful neglect of duty as part of an investigation into the Flint water crisis, according to court documents. What the fuck has taken them so long? Whenever it comes down to Black people, years could go by before anything is done. Thank God we have reporters out there that stick to the story until people pay attention to what is going on. These people are still suffering from the Flint, Michigan crisis, drinking basically poison water. So 12 people died of Legionnaire's disease during the water crisis, which started in 2014. That's over 6 years ago, people. CNN has reached out to an attorney for Snyder and an attorney for Croft for comment. The Michigan Attorney General's office had no comment at this time. They never have comment when, their hand's been caught in the freaking cookie jar. If you guys are wondering why I'm getting upset right now, why the hell shouldn't I get upset? They're killing my people. I can't just be happy about it. And you should be upset too, because this is straight bullshit. But no, we're going to pray for those that spitefully use us. Are we going to pray for people until there's none of us left? Is that what we're going to do? Is that how it goes down? I mean, it's just crazy. It is just crazy how we keep giving these people a pass for how they use us and abuse us. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. So let's just go on here. Former Michigan Governor Rick Snyder is about to be indicted on criminal charges by a special counsel for his role in the Flint water crisis. News outlets such as CNN affiliate WXYZ reports Snyder and several other officials will face state criminal charges in connection with the crisis, the outlet said. Snyder attorney called the reports meritless and a political escapade. 12 people died. Somebody has to be held accountable. That goes back to the Breonna Taylor situation. This woman was murdered and nobody's being held accountable. 12 people died of Legionnaire's disease during the water crisis. A source with knowledge of the situation told the Detroit News that Snyder and others are set to be formally indicted as soon as Thursday. Brian Lennon, an attorney for the former governor, said his client is being made into a scapegoat by a politically driven special counsel. It is outrageous to think any criminal charges would be filed against Governor Snyder. Any charges would be meritless, he said in a written statement. Rather than following the evidence to find the truth, the Office of Special Counsel appears to be targeting former Governor Snyder in a political escapade. The Michigan State Attorney General's office wouldn't comment on details of the overall investigation, but a spokesperson told CNN the office, "We will share more when in a position to do so." An attorney for former Flint Public Works Director Howard Croft told the Detroit Press that his client also expects to be charged. Attorney Jamie White said he was informed Monday. Flint's water problems can be traced back to 2014 when city and state officials switched the city's water supply in an effort to cut costs. Yeah, they always do that in the Black communities. They want to cut the costs in the Black communities and see what happens. Oh, well, if 12 Negroes died, 50 niggas died, 100 niggas died, oops, that's going to be the thing. Oops. And then nobody wants to take account for this. But there's documents and there's orders. There's a paper trail to show who approved what. And we got to stop falling for the okie doke because it's out there. We're just afraid to say anything. But our Black politicians, notice they're silent. They haven't said a word. So the Flint's water problems can be traced back to 2014 when city and state officials switched the city's water supply in an effort to cut costs. That decision exposed residents to dangerously high levels of lead and prompted more than a dozen lawsuits against those involved. Governor Snyder apologized to the state's role in the crisis. He admits guilt. 12 people died and more than 80 were sickened as a result of 2 waves of a Legionnaire's disease outbreak in Flint. Don't care about the children. You want to kill the adults, that's one thing, but don't care about innocent children that had nothing to do with it. Last year, the state reached a $600 million settlement with victims, and a court-monitored compensation fund for victims was established. The water quality problems began when the state switched Flint's water supply from Lake Huron to the notoriously filthy Flint River. The move, meant to reduce costs, was supposed to be temporary while a new supply line to Lake Huron was completed. When the Michigan Department of Environmental Quality failed to treat the corrosive water, it ate into the city's iron and lead pipes and leached into the drinking water. I think they meant leaked. Flint residents had been complaining about the poor quality of their water when the Environment Protection Agency tested water going into homes there in 2015, finding dangerous levels of lead, which can cause serious health issues. An outbreak of Legionnaire's disease linked to the water led to criminal charges against state officials, including Nick Lyon, then director of the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services in 2017. Here's a guy who is in charge of a department that is supposed to look out for people's health and their concern as human beings, and he failed. Prosecutors dropped all criminal charges in 2019 and said the investigation would begin again from scratch, citing concerns about how the special counsel had conducted its probe. More than a dozen lawsuits, including several class action suits, were filed against the state, the city of Flint, and some state and city employees involved in the decisions to switch the source of the drinking water and those responsible for monitoring water quality. Snyder was elected in 2010 and served until 2018, whole 8 years. So it isn't like he wasn't involved and he didn't know what was happening in this situation. There is always a paper trail when it comes to these type of things, always a paper trail. But yet nobody wants to be held accountable. But when it comes to the money and getting paid for doing their job, they'd have no problem accepting the money. Oh, liability. I don't want to, take responsibility. People are dead. People have been victimized. Somebody's got to pay. Ignorance of the law is no excuse. So we just want to highlight that here in the Black media, this is what we do. This is what we show you. This stuff, we are not, paranoid. These things are actually happening to us, and we're pointing them out, and we're getting sick and tired of it. We're tired of being scapegoated. We are tired of electing these Black bootlicks that serve white supremacy, and we're going to start calling you out. So if you are a career Black politician, your days are numbered. They are numbered. If you think these white people have lost their minds in regards to being Trump supporters and MAGA supporters or whatever the hell they are, you wait till Black people start getting upset. We've had it with you guys not standing up for us. You take our stories, you take our suffering, and you use it to your advantage to get elected. Some of you guys even coming from the very same ghettos and hoods that Black people come from. Then you get there, and then you forget who you are, and you forget the people that elected you to get there. Daniel Cameron over in Kentucky. There's a reckoning coming with that guy. But how dare I and the Black media call these things out? I'm going to give to CNN for at least covering the story. I was surprised I saw that on CNN because, again, I do a lot of homework and we try to highlight in the Black media what's going on with stories in particular that is about Black people. And we're not talking about the popular stories. I wonder what Oprah's doing. Oh, look at Gayle King. No, we're not talking about that. We're talking about stories and things that we want you guys to think about when you go into that voting booth. You want to know your politician's resume? Look at your neighborhood. If it looks like shit, that's their resume. And if you want it to continue to look like shit, continue to vote for them. A lot of people get on me and they say, well, where's your Black agenda? Where's your Black agenda? I posted it. I don't like to talk about my Black agenda because one thing that I'm doing is I'm right here. I'm right here doing these stories, informing you. That's number one in my Black agenda, getting you to understand what is going on and what they're doing to you. It's kind of like when you go to the dentist and I've been going to the dentist a lot because, I got infections in my gums that comes from root canals. And it happens not all the time, but some people get them, some people don't. And it just tears you up, right? So they have to go back in there and do, a redoing to get to the infection, to treat the infection, right? But it's like when you go to the dentist. And then for the dentist to work on your teeth, he has to give you what? Novocaine. That way, even though he's doing all this really, hurtful stuff to you, you don't feel it. You don't feel the pain because he put some Novocaine in there. But there's pain there. That's what they're doing to us. Our own people. You got these baby boomers that are just satisfied seeing a Black face in a powerful position or a position that is extraordinary. I call it the extraordinary Negro. And they're happy with that. But what good is that if that person that is in that position doesn't do anything for their own people? It's pointless. You might as well put an Asian in there, put a Hispanic in there. Because the Black person that's there isn't going to do nothing for the people. How does that help? So I don't like to highlight my Black agenda. Just because you don't see me having a specific Black agenda, you don't know what I'm doing behind the scenes. If you know anything about Donovan Sadiq, I am very influential in my community. Are you? I'm waiting. Are you? Half the people, Black people I talk to, don't even know who their city councilman or alderman is. More than half of them don't even know what district they're in. And you're going to ask me, what am I doing in the Black community? Are you watching this show? Are you seeing what I'm seeing? Did I just not show you an article about our brothers and sisters that have been poisoned up in Michigan over 6 years ago, and they still haven't brought anybody to justice? But since you've asked about my agenda, and I'm not a Muslim, I do follow Islam. I do follow it, but I'm not a formal Muslim. I love the discipline in Islam, and I was overseas many, many times. And because of Islamic people, I ended up changing my last name. This is my agenda right here. Everything I harp on is said in this book. It's right here. So when all you Negroes out there are talking about what Black agenda, we ain't got no Black agenda. It's right here. It's right here. Read this book. If you don't have it, order it. The Black agenda is right here, and there's other ones out there, but to me, this is the best one. So stop saying there's no Black agenda. Straight bullshit. Message to the Black man. I couldn't find my original copy that I had for years. I had to reorder this one. It only cost about $14. And again, it's a great read. If you don't have this book as a Black person and you don't understand what the Black agenda is, I'm very sure you can get this at a library. I'm very sure you can get it. Here is the Black agenda, one of them. I think the best one. But this is one of them. So don't tell me about my Black agenda. This is what my Black agenda is. So when you talk to me, I'm going to tell you, read Message to the Black Man by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. So anyway, you guys, again, that is what they're doing to us. New Black Media, we are bringing you these stories, and we're going to continue to bring these stories regardless of how many of you Negroes out there fight for white supremacy and are being used as tools of white supremacy. Why are you fighting me when you should be fighting white supremacy? I'm trying to get us a check. I'm trying to get us to do what we need to do. But you always got those Negroes out there that want to just talk down on what you're doing. I have white supremacist friends. They don't give me nowhere near the shit because they understand, oh, well, he's a Black man, so of course he's going to talk like that. White supremacist, he's a white man. Of course he's going to talk like that. The difference is I'm free. I'm economically free. And I'm trying to get you to be economically free too. Do for self. When you depend on another man to feed you, that same man that feeds you is the same man that can starve you. Donovan Sadiq, tuning into my podcast, and you can also see me on the War Zone Monday through Friday, 5 p.m. Central Time on Facebook. And I'm also on the Demetri K Show on Sundays, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And then we have Free Flow Friday, which is at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So if you want to see me, I'm on the internet all the time. And plus I have a podcast, the Donovan Sadiq Show. Please, please, please tune in to the show. We have a very, very special guest. And also I want to bring you guys up to speed. There is another person I want you guys to start listening to. She has a show. I think it premiered tonight. Her name is Tamara Johnson Sheely. Sister is on fire. If you are a Nina Turner fan, or if you've heard of Nina Turner, or if you've seen Nina Turner, this woman is no joke. She is woke, and she has a message and a movement that is for the people. And I have been trying, and I'm going to try to produce a podcast with her and get that message out there, because I want you guys to hear more of our people giving solutions to our problems. I'm Donovan Sadiq. You have just been informed what's going on in the Black